Sometimes I just really don't like my kid right now. Feels kind of awful saying that out loud, huh? Actually, a client texted me that the other day, and I just thought, boy, I have been there too. And if that's a thought that you've had, I guess I want you to know you're not alone. You're not a bad parent. Sometimes our kids just do things. They're disrespectful, they're rude, they're unkind, they don't do what they're supposed to do, and it's really hard to like them. Now, I know we all love them deeply, right? But sometimes it just feels like we're stuck in this cycle where we feel hopeful that things will change. And then there's an explosion. And then all of a sudden we're repairing the situation and it repeats all over again. So if this is you and this resonates with you, again, listen, you're just a parent trying to parent a teenager, which is not easy. And plus, we were never given or taught how to parent them or given any sort of tools or communication skills. So no wonder it feels hard. It is really hard. And so one thing I want to share with you today is a concept I learned in dialectical behavioral therapy, which is two things that feel like they're on complete opposite ends can be true at the same time. Right? So what do I mean for this situation? What I mean is we can love our child deeply and fiercely. And at the same time, we cannot like how they're acting. And there's nothing abnormal with that. There's nothing wrong with us for feeling these two things at the same time. It doesn't mean that we're doing anything wrong. It just means we're just a humaning over here. And that's just perfectly normal. Because it is hard to really like our kids when they're being mean or disrespectful, or we've asked them to do something so many times and they still don't do it. And so first just recognize okay, two things can be true at the same time. I can love them deeply and I cannot like how they're acting right now. So what can we do in that situation to make things better? How can we shift it so our life becomes easier and more enjoyable? The key concept that I want you to remember is that we need to separate who our kid is from how they're acting. Two completely separate things, right? It's when we start merging those things together that creates big problems for us, for our kids, for our relationship. And so I want you to be thinking about, I can separate who they are from how they're acting. So you might be thinking, okay, Janine, but how do I do that? Okay, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do today to help yourself embody this. Okay, first, when their behavior is abhorrent, they're doing something, they're lying, they're being mean, cruel, you're upset, hurt, whatever it is, you can take a moment and think about, okay, right? I want to separate who they are from how they're acting. And so remind yourself, who is my kid? Well, my kid is actually, they can be really caring. They can be really thoughtful. They can be creative. They can be humorous. They can make me laugh. Start taking your mind to a place of who they are inside, their character on a good day. And you'll notice that it starts helping you release some of that grip you have on, I really don't like them right now. What's wrong with me? I'm such a bad parent. So just try that. Try shifting into thinking about their character, who they are inside, at the moments that you do really like them, little glimmers of hope you've seen. And if your mind's telling you that they don't have any redeeming qualities I don't believe it. Ask yourself again, like, okay, if I had to name 3 things that I've seen a glimmer of hope on, like that I've seen elements of it here and there, what would it be? And so just right there, you'll notice when you do that, it starts to like relieve some of the tension in the situation and some of those feelings of just feeling despondent and like things are never going to get better. All right, the second thing that you can try that I think is really helpful is telling yourself this behavior that you see, how they're acting that you don't like, tell yourself like, this is just for today, not forever. This is just for today, not forever. Because one of the parenting traps that all of us get stuck in is that we look at what they're doing and we think they're going to be this way a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And we, all of us, start getting a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of worry that, oh my God, things are never going to be different. And that exacerbates the problem. So I want you to try this. Try saying to yourself, like, take a deep breath, right? And say like, this is just for today, not forever. And even you can think about how you were in high school and some of the stupid things you did, right? You're not doing them now as an adult. It's like, find all the ways that this is true, like for you in your life, maybe with your child, maybe you have an older child and you can see their growth and the way they changed over, their period of time in high school or high school to young adult. And show yourself that, hey, this is actually true. And this might be really difficult today, right? They might be lying. They might be smoking pot. They might be ditching school, whatever it is. But this is just for today, not forever. And then the third thing you can try that I also really love is this phrase of, they just haven't built the skill yet. Right? So let me give you an example. So let's say they completely lose it and explode on you and they're so angry and they're screaming at you. Right? I want you to tell yourself, they just haven't learned the skill yet of processing their anger in a healthy way. They don't know how to process their anger, and so they're exploding and vomiting it on me because I'm a safe place. I'm their mom. They know we're not going anywhere. But what this comes down to, this is all about emotion regulation skills. And where we get trapped is if we assume that they should have emotion regulation skills. Newsflash, we are not born with emotion regulation skills. Now, some of our kids are maybe more people pleasers or calm or agreeable. They might have some of those skills innately, but most of us have other kids who need help learning this skill. They need help noticing that they are getting angry and they're noticing they're about to explode, and giving them tools and a way to notice that anger and to let it go through them before they explode and like vomit it on someone else, right? I want you to tell yourself, like, this is a skill that I can teach my child, and they're not a bad kid for not having it. Most of us are, well, right, we're not born with it. Most of us don't know how to do this innately. And this is a skill that you can teach them. It's like an emotion regulation skill. And frankly, it's a skill that they're going to need for years to come. When they go to college, they're trying to live independently, when they head into the workforce, the whole thing. So listen, if you're sitting in your car right now watching this YouTube video and you're thinking, I really don't like my kid right now, just know, like, you're not a bad parent. You're not alone. We've all felt that at one time or another, and it can be better. So if you found this helpful, please go subscribe to my channel. And also, I've got a free resource for you, 5 questions that get your teens talking. I'll put the link in the comments, download it, and try one of the questions today.